Hello, everyone. This is Coach Toyin. I'm diving into the first chapter of my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur, right? Strategy, skills, and mindset for achieving business growth and success. So, if this is your first time, thank you for joining. If you're team replay, thank you for also accessing the replay. So, I'm going to be reading chapter one. Last week, I read through the introduction section. You can always access the replay of that as well. So, I thank everyone joining. Let me get right to it. So, I love this community engagement type function because I'll read a paragraph or two and then I'll discuss, right? Because, like I shared before, every line, everything that I put in here, right? There's a masterclass behind it. That's why I have my school Toyin Academy because I'm very careful with words. I'm very direct. My communication is direct, and I also write the way I speak. Okay, so you find my book extremely direct, straight to the point, because I never want anybody leaving feeling like, what was Tony trying to say? I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Listen, you will understand me because I make sure that I use words. I'm selective of my words because it's about being effective communication, right? I want to make sure that whatever it is I'm trying to communicate, that it reaches the recipient without interference. Anyway, so let me dive into it. The first chapter, and those who are joining, thank you for joining. The first chapter is on it takes skills. Okay, it takes skills. Again, mindset of an entrepreneur. You can access it on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. Soft copies are also available in my school. Usually we walk through the master classes, the training programs in my school, and then whenever I want to publish, then I release it to the public as well. Okay, let's get into it. So many people might say, theoretically, that they know how to build a successful business, but in reality, remains. I see someone is trying to come online. Give me, let me go through the book, and then if there are questions, please start dropping those questions. I just saw you sent an invitation. I just want to make sure I acknowledge I saw the invitation. But let me read through, we'll discuss. You can type your questions. Let me know where you're joining from. So that's really the format here, okay, for today. Sorry about that. So many people might say theoretically that they know how to build a successful business. But the reality remains that if they do not have the necessary skills, they cannot actually pull it off. They fantasize about building multi-million dollar businesses without actually asking what skills are required to create such in reality. They underestimate how long it would take and the mechanism that supports such businesses. So this is what I've experienced. That first chapter is just opening with, when you go out into the world, in the world of entrepreneurship, and those who continue every day, someone is becoming an entrepreneur every day, employee to entrepreneurship, right? And people rushing with tons of assumptions, lots of dreams, lots of hopes, lots of aspirations, right? Passion, lots of passion. One of the things I do say is that passion is not a substitute for skills, experience, right? When it comes down to it, do you know what you need to do to get the results you want? And what I found is that most people who go into this on this journey, right, begin with desire for all the amazing things they believe entrepreneurship will get for them. And I covered that in introduction. Nothing wrong with that. But a lot of that is fantasizing. But in reality, because this book is dedicated to those who want to go from employee to entrepreneur mindset, and also those who have become an entrepreneur and they're still struggling to get the results they want, right? So that's just calling out that out in the world, we are all dreamers, and dreaming is the birthplace, right? It's supposed to be the birthplace of vision. So vision is fantastic. It's the picture of your destination. Like in my mindset programs, I talk about those things. Vision is the picture of your destination. So definitely we all need to have a clear vision of what it is we're doing, where we're going, what result we want for ourselves. But beyond just vision, right? is now coming back to reality in terms of what do you need to do to, bring your dreams to life, right? If I can use that phrase. Okay, so let me move on. Yes, they may have general ideas about branding, marketing, sales, and persuasion, but they fail to realize that basic understanding of these concepts will not get you the same results that mastery levels will. The wise ones will spend time to gain the knowledge and develop the skills to gain experience. Others read a book and suddenly claim that they know it all. See, I'm very direct. My book, I write the way I speak, okay? Do not deny the responsibility you have to develop the skills necessary to achieve the level of success in business that you want. Okay, the responsibility of developing skills or maybe hiring the people that have skills. That's why the best brands in the world, the biggest brands in the world, listen, they will pay a lot of money to hire the best people in the world, right? They bring the best people into their own world because you want to guarantee success. The only way you guarantee success is the skills experience you bring to a work that needs to be done. If you're an architect, you can draw the fantastic building plan, but if you give a fantastic vision, you give it to an amateur, right? Somebody that do not have skills, do not have experience, and you give your best, right? Your best drawing, your best vision. You say you want to build a multi-million dollar, and then you hand it over to a contractor who has never built any house before. And then you expect them to do what? Listen, that building will show you what's up. It will show you exactly what lack of skills look like. That's what's happening, right? If you want to be the best custodian of your dreams, train yourself so that you can build what will last for yourself. Okay. The results you will see in business will be largely determined by the practical skills you have developed personally or of those you will hire to work with you in building it. If you do not develop or employ the skills of others, you cannot do the work necessary to build, grow, and scale your business. If you do not do the work, you will not see the results you want. Okay? What are those things you need to develop the right skills for? Information is different from skills. Information initiates the process of learning. There's theoretical knowledge, and then there's practical knowledge. Skills only develops when you put into practice what you know, and it is developed over time through repetition, practice, and discipline. You will see dynamic results as soon as you have attained mastery levels. Okay, here's an example, right? Okay. And thank you to those joining as well. If you have any questions or reactions, just type it. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know what your questions are. And if you have experience, you can feel free to share that as well. Thank you again for joining. Okay. And so I'm reading my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur: Strategy, Skills, and Mindset for Achieving Business Growth and Success. Last week, I covered the introductory side. Today, I'm just diving into the opening chapter, and I'm already going all right on in talking about skills. The most important things I say is skills, 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 skills. You hear me say learn fast, learn fast, learn fast, right? Because once you learn fast and you attain mastery, then we can go into strategy, strategy, strategy. Because strategy becomes more powerful based on the experience, skills, knowledge that you have. Is that those who have superior knowledge, superior skills, superior expertise will bring to their company, right, the strategic room. Listen, precision is what you are looking for when you are aiming, when you have a target, business goals target, right? You want precision, right? And you want precise, like you want accuracy, precision. But when your hand is not steady and you've not practiced, right, your aim, you miss it, right? So practice is where It's like basketball. You're trying it now. You want to get to a point where you are now a master. Because once you master any subject in life, listen, results are improved. This is when we talk about productivity. Low productivity, right, belongs to those with low skills, right? Results improve the more all this things. So that's something you keep hearing me say over and over and over and over again. Like I'm saying this forever because in all disciplines in life, this is the rule of the game. You want to become an accountant and you've never done it before, you fail at it, right? That's why I say learn fast, don't if you don't want to fail fast. I don't want you to fail fast. That's why I have an entire school for those who want to learn fast at toyinumesibi.academy, right? CM, I can. Oh my, no, you're welcome to come to the stage. I know you. I can see you. Listen, I love seeing you. You're on Instagram. You're also here, and I could hear there's a slight delay on Clubhouse. So I want you to come up. Please come up so that when it's time for engagement and conversation, we can do that as well. So don't disappear on me. Anyway, so thank you so much for being here again. Okay, so let me go into another paragraph there. Okay, skills only develops when you put into practice what you know, and it develops over time through repetition, practice, and discipline. You will see dynamic results as soon as you have attained mastery level. I said that. Okay, here is a practical example. Let us say that you add a desire to eat fish for dinner. See, my analogy, those who follow me already know I tell stories, so here it is in my book as well. Let's say you had a desire to eat fish for dinner. And by the way, you've never fished before. This means that you do not yet have the skills for fishing. Yes, you desire you yes, your desire is to catch and eat fish, but you do not know how to fish. You immediately realize that you must first learn how to do this job yourself or get another to do it for you. You may go online to research how to fish. You may also read a book on fishing. Both of these steps are great because they get you closer to your desired goals, but they still haven't guaranteed your success in fishing. After buying all the fishing equipment listed in the book you just read, your next step would be to take what you have learned and go directly to the fishing pond, right? While there, you will try to implement what you read. If you had an expert fisherman by you, he would fast track that process. But you will still need to practice several times to finally get it right. Your first fish would be your pride and joy because you did it yourself. And once you have mastered this process, you will now be able to catch any number of fish when you want. Entrepreneurship is similar because perfect practice of fundamental skills necessary for your success makes for perfect or near perfect results. Okay, let's discuss. Let me bring you back up. If you're able to join CM Anderson, okay, if you're available to come up and engage before I move on to the next. This next one is very interesting. My goodness. Any thoughts, reactions, or I've gotten some feedback. People just want me to keep talking, keep reading, but I am looking for reaction, engagement, questions. Like people will just say, Toyin, keep talking, we're listening. Toyin, keep talking. Listen, go to Amazon, you need a copy. If you're considering becoming an entrepreneur, or you're an entrepreneur and you're new to entrepreneurship, relatively new, meaning 0 to 5 years, and you want to improve your skills and start getting better results, this book was dedicated to you. Last week, I read the back as well. You can go on Amazon and read that. Okay. So basically, the opening chapter is just trying to lay this foundation. Guys, skills is the game changer. Knowledge, skills, expertise, experience, on and on. That's the first thing. That's the first thing because you can dream, and we all need to dream. Please dream. But what will bring your dream to reality is you. Nobody can hand you your dream. Nobody builds your mansion for you. Nobody builds your house for you. If you have a dream, the whole world is available. Go build your dream, right? Okay? Yes, the world belongs to dreamers, but listen, what's guaranteed is for the action takers. Because when you do not take action, what it means is that you're leaving your future to be determined by other people who take action. The only way you guarantee what you're going to see in the future is when you commit yourself and you build what you want and you apply yourself to do the work that is required to get you what you want. Otherwise, it's a movie, guys. You're just watching somebody else's movie, right? You're watching other people build their own stuff. That's what news headline is. That's even what social media is, guys. That's why I always tell my students, no, get off social media. You need thinking time because you need to think your way to solving your own personal problems and the problems on behalf of your clients and customers. Listen, be too busy for all this skipping and scrolling. Carve out a good chunk of time to read books, to practice, to learn, to explore what other people are doing. Because the more you know, I always say knowledge doesn't do you any wrong. More knowledge powers you up. Knowledge is power because you can only apply what you know, right? You cannot apply what you don't know. I hope people realize like what you know is what you can use. What you don't know is not available to you. That's why I encourage people, listen, pursue maximum knowledge in life. That stuff will lift you up. When people, people say level up, level up. Listen, the one guaranteed way to level yourself up is to increase skill and knowledge. When you increase what you can do in this world, you power up yourself. Naturally, the hair will just lift you up. You just go to your next level. But as long as you know minimal, you know little, you know not much, you can do little, you stay where you are. And trust me, degrees upon degrees, there are specific doors that your degree can open. Entrepreneurship is not one of them. Even MBA will not help some people. You know why? MBA is designed for you to be able to operate an existing right structure, not to start a new one. There's a different discipline and skill to start to take your ideas from concept to implementation in an accelerated way. That's why I always talk about accelerator, the 10-week accelerator in my school. MBA, listen, I have a business degree. I've worked for the biggest brands in the world. And I'm telling you for real, the day you decide you want to bring your ideas to life and you want to create commercial ventures, okay. Miss Kobala guy, welcome. You say so true. I have to put this one up. I'm not the only one that will read it. You said I deleted Facebook and used that time to sit and think. Actively working on resetting my internal program. Listen, social media, you already know this thing. So just for the sake of those who have never heard me say it, I say use social media. Don't let social media use you. I've also talked about wealth creators are not content creators. Not all content creators are wealth creators, but wealth creators know the power of how they will use content to advance their own mission and goals. We will use that thing. We will use it. It's a tool. Oh, there's a master class. I just remember I talk about leverage. Leverage is the main thing in business. You always think about leverage. It's like you go to the stream, just like the analogy of the fisherman. You go to the stream. Or let me see. I'll bring you up shortly. Let's say you go to the stream and you don't go with a fishing rod or a net, but you go with bait. Listen, you're coming home with zero. Leverage is what you're going to fish out what you want. You know why? At the end of the day, we want to see who's going to win. Is it the fish that will win or you? You want to eat the fish wants to eat your bait. Who is going to win? The fish wants the bait and not to be fished out. So if you go with your bucket and dump your more content, Without leverage, nothing, guys. So let's see. Did you want to let me see if this app is working. Okay. Let me go in. And Dion Musta says, my God, listen, I okay, that's a reaction, right? I usually get some of that because maybe some of the things I say, I've learned to say it directly, not beating around the bush, because this leads to confusion. When we don't speak clearly, when we don't say what we mean, and when we don't mean what we say, we leave people wondering what we were trying to say. And that's a waste. That's a waste of time. So for me, I value your time, right? And so I don't, my book too is not padded with all kinds of wasted words. No. That's why it's a quick read. I want you to get exactly what it is I want you to hear. And that's it. Okay. CM and the scene, welcome again. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Queen. I'm doing good.
Yay!
Yeah.
Tell me, before I move on to the next chapter I want to cover today, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind is to catch all the gems that you are dropping. So
Oh,
go ahead. Don't mind me. I'm just here with my net.
with your net. See, listen, I'm a storyteller. I'm a storyteller. I will tell you a story you will never forget again. Don't go to the stream.
Right?
Don't go to the stream without your fishing net or your rod. People are bringing baits. You are using your time, energy, and resources to buy baits in the marketplace. You are bringing it to the stream and you are fishing. You're pouring everything for the fishes. Listen, the fish is happy. And then you are sitting down and saying, fish, come. This is not, let me tell you, this is not a dog. Dog, you've been, come. It responds. No, dog will come. Fish will not come. Leverage is really the ultimate power in business, that you're bringing value. Okay, you can bring value into the marketplace, particularly in the climate today. You're doing work because part of business is delivering value. Leverage is what guarantees that you get value in return. And one of the most powerful leverage as well in business, in technical terms, is your business model. Okay, your business model, there's an entire week dedicated to business model engineering, design. Literally, these are technical skills. You see me on the board drawing in my school. When I'm here on social media, I'm being social with you. But if you are taking my classes, you'll see workbooks, assignments, drawing. They're all over. Like, listen, you'll be seeing PowerPoints, you'll be seeing diagrams, because I want you to understand. I'll give you assignments so that you do it, so that you develop the skills. But when I'm on social media, listen, I'm here, I'm being social. So this is a social engagement, but I'm still teaching and engaging. I love this anyway. So yeah, your business model. Okay, this is why business model is what guarantees that you win. Business model, how you design it, and it is a science. It is a science. Precision, okay, is required. Your business model is what will be the game changer. This is what impacts directly your bottom line, right? Content is supposed to power certain results for you, but your business model is the vehicle that you use to deliver value, but not just deliver value and walk away, but make sure that as you're delivering value, you are getting value in return. Okay, so when you don't have any business model, listen, you can be delivering value every single day, and if you've not designed the right business model, you're getting nothing back. So this is how you tighten. It's like you don't let any screw go missing on your business. That's why it's engineering. If a screw is missing, you've not tied it very well, you are leaking value. It's a science. That's why we say engineering. You bring your mathematical brain. You remember I talk about thinking. You bring your mathematical side to it. You also bring psychology to it, human psychology. You bring market intelligence to it. You bring consumer behavior to it, understanding of consumer behavior. You bring customer journey maps the journey people are on, what they are trying to achieve. You bring that mindset to it. You bring your value proposition into it. You bring your pricing strategy into this process, this engine. You mix it all together. You shift it, trial and error, loads of trial and error. You try this, you try that, you try this, you try that, you try this, you try that, until you find the right combination, the sweet spot where, right, your consumer base sees value and you are seeing value at the same time. Okay? This is when your fishing rod, you've put the bait, the one that catches, that's the perfect, you're waiting for the perfect time. Do you go fishing in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening? How do you know that if you don't have experience? You try all the combination. Which one gets you the best results? What bait is the ideal bait? And it has to be dependent on the type of fish you're looking for. Do you sit down? Do you stand up? Do you wear your cap? Do you wear camo? Do you stay quiet or do you speak loud? All of the combinations of possibilities. That's what you do in business model engineering. But many people, they just assume that they know what's going to work. Listen, experience tells you never assume, test. Always test. The result is what we are looking for. I'm not married. You never be married to an approach. Mindset of an entrepreneur. The day you are married to, hey, this, I'm only going to do this, you need to be married to results. But that's what we are married to. And until we get the results, we are in test mode. That's why I always say that instead of saying fail fast, those who have skills and experience, it's about experimentation. It's a lab. It's a science. It's like you're a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, until you see the magic. But those who do not have skill cannot even do this stuff. That's why I say hurry up, learn the skills, because once you attain mastery, we now have a playbook, right? It's like a game. When I say the game plan, don't show up to the field to play the game if you don't know the rules and if you've not practiced. They can kick you are out. So many people are in the game of entrepreneurship and they are running around. They usually say like a chicken without, like, on this, right? Just imagine a player on the field of a soccer game that hasn't practiced, did not show up to practice, and the referee said, kick the ball. The player is like, I don't know what to do. What's this ball? That's what people are doing with entrepreneurship today. When you want to enroll to win, guarantee your own success by training for the game you want to win in. Isn't that a no-brainer? CM Anderson, isn't that simple and direct?
Yes, it is. It's very simple and direct.
You want to be a basketballer, you want to win the championship, you didn't show up for practice. Go on, please.
You're not going to make it. You're going to be lost. You're not going to be the most valuable player. You're going to be the worst person. They're like, go somewhere and sit down. Go back. No.
That's why I'm using all these stories, because I've seen so many things. I've seen so many things, and I'm going, why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are people not telling us, come? Sit down there, you're an amateur. Like, go and learn. Right? Let's learn what we need to learn, so that on game day, listen, we come prepared. I came to win. Don't play with me. Don't mess with me. This is my time. I can come up with songs too. Listen, I'm drama. Listen, I'm all loaded with drama. That's when you show up to the market and say, I'm fierce. I'm here. I'm going to show up because I'm not here to play. You can only do that. There's a program I talk about audacity. Have the audacity to ask, to pitch your products. But if you are still saying, what would they say? Would they pay? Listen, go to toyumesiri.academy. That's my school. Enroll. Learn the A to Z of business development, entrepreneurship, mindset. That's it. It's for those who want to accelerate their business growth and success, right? Instead of, it saves you a good 5 years. What it takes somebody 5 years or even more. Even after 5 years, they may not even know it, but at least my school saves you a good 5 years of roaming around trying to figure out how to build your business. Period. If you want to save time, that's my school. But if you have a bunch of time, here's what I'll also acknowledge: people have time. And I teach entrepreneurs this: don't try to sell people on time, those who do not value time. They will not take action because time is not valuable to them. So, what I'm saying would only be valuable to those who want to avoid stress, who wants to save time, who wants to save resources and just shoot straight. You know, it's like if Google is offering you a map and you say you don't want to buy Google's map, you don't want to download it, you don't want to access it. You know what? Go and find your own way to California. You will sweat, especially if you've never been there before and you never bothered to ask somebody that has been there before. How long will it take you to arrive at that destination? This is what's so clear in the life in world today, is that it's a free world. Definitely, I give people, like, you have autonomy about your decision, you have agency, but we will call out the fact that, listen, the precision in decision making is also part of success. Those who have achieved success, they minimize error in their life, right? They mitigate risk. When we talk about risk management, in the boardroom, we plan, we assess what's going to happen, what's likely to happen, and then we plan, if this happens, this is what we do. But we are hoping it never happens. But I realize today that those who haven't arrived there, they're taking so much risk, and guess what? They are the ones bearing all the risk. The cost of risk is on you, and many people are ready to bear it. So they go 1 year, 2 years, they say, oh, I'm going to figure this out myself. They figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. A year goes by, 2 years go by, and that's something I'm about to read in chapter 2 now. So let me get to it. Okay, first time entrepreneurs. Just so you know, I've studied. Listen, I've not studied biology, I've not studied other things, but when it comes to this topic, I've studied it. Let me read this to you. It's called the chapter is first time enter, right? I love it. It's great. Thank you. I see the comments. Keep it coming. The stages of an entrepreneur's mindset. Remember, this is mindset of an entrepreneur, right? The stages of an entrepreneur's mindset journey, as discovered from working with entrepreneurs at different levels, is as follows. I call it the mindset stages of seeking help, in quotes. Okay, air quotes. These are bullet points. I say that in the first year, first time entrepreneurs think to themselves, I do not need any help. I have what it takes to be successful in business. The second year, they begin to realize and admit, this is harder than I thought. Third year, in quotes, did I make a mistake? This may not be for me. Can I push through and persevere? Fourth year, help! This is not funny, guys. Let me not laugh. This is my cynic. Let me not laugh, okay? But I'm laughing. Okay. Fifth year, I have to make this work. I am committed to entrepreneurship. I will invest in the help I need. I will train myself to succeed. This is my mission. There is no going back. Depending on which stage you are currently on, you may or may not admit to what degree of help or support you need to get to where you start seeing your desired results. This book is written with practical ways to get you up that hill of success. In my practice, I have found that first-time entrepreneurs also make many assumptions largely fueled by ignorance. See, my words are sharp. It is the reason that I coined the phrase learn fast so you don't have to fail fast. Ignorance is not bliss. And I believe that a lack of knowledge of business fundamentals leads to vast failure in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We do not ask our pilots to fail fast because we train them. We do not ask our doctors to fail fast because we train them. We do not ask our surgeons to fail fast because we train them. We do not ask our accountants to fail fast because we train them. So, why then do we tell entrepreneurs to fail fast versus train fast? That's the question. I consider entrepreneurship to be a profession, and there are skills that must be developed before we can see the desired results. I admit that there is a side to entrepreneurship that is innovation focused, which is about going on a journey that no one else has ever gone before. But that journey itself could be made easier with the best preparations. If you are building something that someone else has achieved or going on a journey that someone else has gone on successfully before, it is wise to investigate and adopt prior knowledge. This is why I say that learning entrepreneurship fundamentals is required if you want to fast track your journey to achieving your desired business results. Without it, you will go through the deep into the abyss of failure, particularly if you are transitioning from employee mindset to entrepreneur mindset. Okay, I see. Hello, you want to come up? I've invited you to join us on the stage. I hope the app is functioning well. Hi, how are you? Peter, did you want to say something before I go on? Okay, maybe later, maybe not. Let me keep reading, okay? And thanks to those joining again. Entrepreneurship requires a new way of being. Are you ready to say something?
Sorry. Yeah, Elo here.
Elo, go on, please.
Hey, I had a question for you. Thank you for all your sharing. But how do you see? Okay, to me, entrepreneurship is like different folds, right? And, you can be selling a product or a service, or you can jump in with a team of people, and you may not necessarily be the visionary guy in that team, but you have a shared vision, or you actually see through the vision of the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
Would you what would you say to that in terms of someone breaking out and going into a partnership with a shared vision? You don't necessarily see 100% of the vision that the visionary guy is seeing, but you just feel that fire in your belly to go out there, especially going out with a team. Because I believe, if you go out with a team or go out with a group of people, it's better than going by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right, into the journey of entrepreneurship. I would like to get your thoughts on
that. Okay, in the context of what I'm discussing today, right? If you're embarking on a mission, and the mission could be as easy as we're going into the jungle to cut down some trees. I'm keeping it simple. Please do not go with amateurs because that tree may end up on your head. This is where skills, right? So it doesn't matter to me what mission you are going after. The best team, may the best team win. That's the rule of game, right? Whether in business or whether in terms of entrepreneurship, sportsmanship, whatever field of life, whether you're a pharmaceutical company, you're Alibaba, you're Amazon. I work for the biggest brands in the world. And trust me, the biggest brands in the world invest deeply in skills development for their staff, for productivity. So the first thing is whether you are team one, whether you're a solo entrepreneur or you are putting 5 people together or 50 people together to go on a mission, I hope that you're also investigating the skill sets, experiences of the people on your team, because that mission is only guaranteed based on collectively what you guys know how to pull off. That's why you will find that in the startup ecosystem, most startups that win, the people who win, that's not their first game. It's like the third, fourth attempt at entrepreneurship is the one that scales. Why? They are coming into that third attempt with a lot of bruises and lessons learned. They know what not to do anymore. They know certain things they will never repeat. And they know how to accelerate the result. They know what they are looking for. They know how to get it. And they engineer success faster. So most businesses that scale, whether it's Facebook or all these apps, right, you realize that the businesses that scale fast, the founders, they are highly skilled. They have history of failure behind them. But not everybody recovers from failure. That's why I always say, learn fast. Some will learn through failure. Listen, they lose a ton of money. They lose their own money, the money of people who supported them. But they come back the third time because they now have so much skills and they believe in themselves and they take another risk. Right? But not everybody has that kind of support to keep coming back again. One attempt, you are out. This is why, particularly if you're an immigrant, you don't have support system, you don't have investors behind you, you don't have safety net, you still, right, listen, you have kids at home, family to pay, mortgages. If you are still worrying about your mortgage, listen, there's a different game people in Silicon Valley are playing. They're not risking their mortgage for this game. They will use other people's funds. So I know I said a lot. So let me get your reaction, because I want to make sure I'm directing it within the context of what I just shared today, because there's so much more out there. Go on.
No, I think it makes sense. I just look at entrepreneurs. I mean, you know, different folds, right? The people who actually go out there to try to launch a product, the people who want to try to launch a service, and the people who would actually put a team together, not knowing exactly what they want. But once you can put a team together, then you can focus on what you want thereafter.
Yeah, but the category of people I want to dive a little deeper. Most of the people that put a team together to solve a problem, those are not first-time entrepreneurs.
Well, yeah, but they don't necessarily know the problem they're going to solve.
But okay, my point is, the moment you gain entrepreneurship skill, you can tackle any problem in the world.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because business, in fact, this is what happens. My clients, my members, the moment they master this thing, they're going to build multiple businesses. The moment you know how it is done.
Let me ask you, what area of business are you training your clients on?
So what?
Okay. Are they coming in green? I guess, are they coming in green saying, hey, because there's a bunch of people that will come in and say, hey, I want to just be an entrepreneur. They don't know exactly what they want to do, but they just know that they want to be an entrepreneur. So with those people, not having a very clear objective of what they want to do, how do you direct them?
Okay, let me take steps back, because you're going deep into the weed there. But let me respond from a strategic place. Okay, so here's what I know. People have ideas, people have hopes, people have dreams, people have aspirations when it comes to wealth creation, wealth building. Because entrepreneurship, I've shared before, I don't know if this is your first time of following my work, but I've shared before that when it comes to wealth creation, money mindset, there are three major relationships you want to have with money. One is attraction, one is management, and then investment. And it's a wheel. For those who have created wealth, if you study them, they created wealth primarily with entrepreneurship mindset. So those who are born into wealth creation, they are managing their money now. Okay? Okay, so those who have inherited wealth, businesses, equity, assets, all of those things. Listen, they have money managers, wealth managers. That's an entire financial discipline in of itself. Out of that, when they have that level of security, they put their money back to work through investment portfolios, all of those things. But guess where they are going to put their money? It's either you are building assets or you are buying assets or buying equity in existing ventures and assets. That's the whole point of Wall Street, is entrepreneurs raising funds publicly and public investors, individuals, companies, portfolios, right? You know what I'm talking about. They put, so I'm laying that foundation of how this whole world plays. But if this is your first journey and you desire to build wealth, the entry point is entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Now let me layer another. I'm still coming to your question, but I want to give people where I'm coming from, so that I don't want to be in the weed tackling the weed. I want to give you the high level executive play of this. So many people have dreams, hopes, aspirations to become an entrepreneur, but mindset is in the way heavily. Okay, that's why I have mindset programs. Going back to how I train, there are people that all they have is ideas. They don't have experience, they don't have skills, they don't have exposure, they've never done this before, there's nobody in their family that has ever done it. What I have done in my school is this accelerator program. It took a year, right? But you can now finish it in 10 weeks. It starts with mindset, because if you are not raised, if you were not born into a wealthy wealth creator mindset, and you've only gone to school to become an employee, and you spend 20, 21 years getting your degrees, and you've done is employee mindset. Listen, I call it the lion in the zoo versus the lion in the wild west in the world of entrepreneurship. Listen, you are the first factor of failure or success in that business, in that journey. So that first series of work in week 1 is purely mindset transformation, from employee mindset to entrepreneur's mindset. The book I'm reading right now is called Mindset of an Entrepreneur, and is dedicated to helping people orient themselves towards the North Star. Because coming into entrepreneurship and say, oh, I want to make money. Listen, that is the amateur approach. The expertise approach is, I want to create value. And how to create value requires you to bring your resources, energy, problem solution mindset, and determining who you are going to create value for. That's why I said to your question, the person that pulls together a team that is ready to go into the marketplace is somebody that has done this before. They know that all that it takes to win in entrepreneurship is the value delivery. The moment you have the skills of delivering value that the world needs and is commercializable, there are 2 requirements I say for you to make money. Number 1, whatever you create must be highly desirable, meaning people desire to want that solution. And number 2 is commercial. Not all solution people desire are they willing to pay you for. So the smartest move is desirability. Number 2, do people want it bad enough to pay to acquire this? When you pass those 2 tests, listen, I can go after any problem I want. I may decide not to, but the moment you have the skill of value creation, value delivery, that is the skill that I'm talking about that most people do not have. But those who have built businesses before and they've made money, remember the wheel I talked about. Listen, they will do this over and over and over and over. It's never ending. This is because you will accumulate wealth, the more value you can create. That's why you look at Elon Musk, you look at Jeff Bezos, you look at Warren Buffett, you look at Bill Gates, is that the moment you are highly skilled in this place, listen, you are creating an empire. You don't stop at one. And look at the landscape of startups. You see those who created PayPal, listen, they disperse. They go and create another company. They disperse. You can see the history is that the moment you can create this stuff, you now have experience. It's just a matter of figuring out what other segments of the marketplace you want to be. I know I just shared a lot, but at the end of the day, if you've not got skills, you've not got resources, you've not got manpower, and you are a solo employee considering becoming an entrepreneur, that my best offer to you is learn fast. Because failure in that case is not an option. Because if you fail, you've got no safety nets. This is the whole point of my school, right? Is that don't take this. If you're going to take a risk, take calculated risk and mitigate all risk. Part of the risk is lack of knowledge, lack of experience, lack of investor, lack of resources. All these things, they create risk for you. But those who have
I think you said something that's right. Take calculated risk.
Calculated risk. Go on.
From my experience, there are lots of people who want to be entrepreneurs, and the journey of an entrepreneur is actually much shorter if you can partner or de-risk the journey with someone who has experience. And sometimes it's not necessarily all the product or solution you want to make. You want to bring to the marketplace. I mean, I've done something with. I've co-invested and co-founded a couple of other service companies here in the United States with some friends. But I took a minority holding in that company because, number one, I was not really seeing the vision. But I was joining with a group of guys that knew exactly what they were doing, and it turned out to be very good at the end of the day, right? Where I was like, oh, you know what? I should have taken a big bite of the apple.
Yeah, but what the role you played wasn't an entrepreneurial mindset. You took an investor role, and I said it in that will, right? So this is how you can create. Listen, here's the key: wealth creation. The entrepreneur's mindset is about building assets. You are the builder. The investor mindset is investing in the builders of assets to own equity and support the person driving this bus. Okay?
That's right. It's so you might view it to be an investor's role, you might view it to be a partnership. This is not a product or service driven market. The market I play in is the oil and gas service space. Right? And in the oil and gas service space, basically what you need is someone who has a relationship, who can sell service, someone who can drive the back office. Because that's where I came in. I held some equity investment, but I was driving the back office. Right? And all these guys, we need to go there, will be on the street selling the service that we want to produce, right? So it's not like, hey, you had a passive investors. All of us.
Okay, so you weren't a passive, you were an active one. But would you consider yourself the entrepreneur driving the vision of the company?
Well, that's the thing, man. You say, okay, where's the vision of the company? There's really no vision. It's just an opportunity that you're taking. You're filling a gap, right? And you say, okay, I can't fill this gap alone. I need a team of people. I'll try to break this down to a very simple oil service. I want to go there. I want to provide rental asset to the oil well. Right? I know there's an opportunity to provide rental asset to the oil well. I know there's a bunch of people out there, there are competitors out there. Now I need to go use my relationship, right? I know the head of the guy who's heading the procurement department of that thing. He's a good friend. I think he's going to give us an opportunity if we come out with the right price, with the right solution and all of those type of things, right? So you're not really the real. You're only taking advantage of an opportunity that's out there.
Right. So let me ask a follow-up question to that. That scenario, what's the current status of that scenario right now?
Well, you're trying to scale from 1 to 2, right? So you've gone into the first project. There's always going to be a first project and a first, I'll call it your first relationship, your partner, your customer. Right, you execute on your first customer, then you think about it. This is successful. How do I scale this into like 10 different customer base?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That I don't necessarily have the relationship in that.
Okay.
In that, in that organization, but now I want to go out there and sell.
Okay, so let me break this down just for others as well. Is that you've fallen into a typical scenario that is to be expected, where I say it's very, very easy to stumble into an opportunity and to maximize an opportunity and to make money from an opportunity, but you never stumble into building a long-standing business that is recognizable, that has a brand, that has a relationship in the marketplace, that has full scalability, right? because that has automation, everything, right? That is here to last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. You don't stumble in.
And that's why I told you day one. It depends on how you view
Okay,
entrepreneurship.
yeah. So no, so but for
There are a
me,
couple of people.
go on. I'm also careful
There are
with
a couple
time,
of
right?
people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a couple of people who we go in. They're basically they create something and they sell it in the next 3 years, right? 3 to 4 years. The goal is let's create this thing. It's a cash flow machine. It starts generating cash flow. Then we'll sell it to the private equity guys or the venture capitalists who wants to
Mm-hmm.
invest in
Mm-hmm.
that space. There are some people who want to create, something that's going to outlive them. The different levels of entrepreneurs. At
Mm-hmm.
least this is my own practical viewpoint of being an entrepreneur. It's not like I go read it on the textbook. I live it on the day-to-day basis, right? There are different levels. So
Mm-hmm.
you go in with your objective and your exit strategy,
No,
right?
I understand. I understand the approach you are explaining, but I also want to make sure people understand that approach mostly will not last long term, because what makes a company last, the very first thing you said is scary, is the red flag. When I said the vision, you said there's no vision. That's the first red flag for me. Okay, is that what I teach, the framework I teach, okay, is for people who want to build legacy, okay, who wants to build assets, who wants to build things that last. Whether you sell it or not, the whole point is to make sure there is equity and value and valuation. You can decide to sell it, or you can decide to keep it in the family, because for me it's wealth creation. But I get what you're saying, that there's a school of thought behind what you're saying. Find opportunities, solve the opportunities, turn it around, exit, find another, and nothing wrong with that. But I want to make sure that for those who are watching, they understand that it's an approach. It's not my approach. It's not what I teach, because what I teach includes making sure you have this view of what you are creating. Because the view of we just want to turn this around, we just want to sell it, and it's a mindset in of itself. And that's why I said investor mindset.
That's what the you have your PE friends and
I get it. I get it.
That's what they do now. They go do it again.
And I get it. Trust me, you cannot try that in the manufacturing world. You can't try that when you are making. It's an approach. It works for those who know how to make it work. Okay? And I get it. But my point is, it doesn't last. It doesn't last. And you've already said it as well. It doesn't last. It's highly risky.
That's why you try to go in with the mindset of, okay, if it's a 3 to 5 year plan.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, is that people choose, like there's freedom to choose. But for me as an educator, okay, as an educator, there are all kinds of doctors out there that will say, this is how I became a doctor. That's how I became a doctor. This is how I made my money. That's okay. That's okay. But when it comes to mainstream, tried true, guaranteed result, long-term assets, equity building, brand building, when you're thinking about the Nikes, the brand builders of the world, they didn't take the approach you're talking about. Okay, they didn't. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's in of itself is laden with a ton of risk. High risk. You are going through an high risk space. For me, I talk about vision, brand. Let me give you let me give you an example of brand in of itself, right? Many people are interacting with the marketplace at the product service level. Products and services come and go. Okay. Brand relationship is what's last. Guess what? IBM 20 years ago, I don't know what they were building or selling. but their promise in the marketplace is existing. Apple, if Apple tries to sell you iPhone 2 today, everybody would run away. Products and services is not what builds relationship in the market. That's why I said you can stumble on one product or one service that sells today. Come next year, if the market shifts on you, that business is gone. If that entire business is built on one service delivery, one client, one this, one that, when that client shuts the door, that business entirely is gone down to the flat, right? Ground is burned down. That's why I said it has its own risk. Okay, because scaling up means you've got to find more customers, you've got to find more clients, you've got to build more trust, you've got to. So if you're going to scale, you need a vision to scale. If you're not going to scale, sit down with one opportunity, eat it, ride it. In my book, I actually talk about riding the wave. Ride that wave, but know that that wave, at some point, it dies off. So business structuring is not just what you're talking about. Oh, and I really have to go now. I have literally, time has gone. Okay, I have to go in like 3 minutes.
That's fine.
Yeah, I have to go in like 3 minutes. But guys, go get the book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur. Check out toyinumesiri.academy. Sorry, you wanted to say something quickly?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, good evening. I just wanted to ask Elo something quickly before you go. Right?
Yeah, you take that offline with him. Back channel, Elo, take that offline. I only have 3 minutes to wrap this up, okay? So thank you so much for being here. But if your question is directed at him, you can definitely reach out to him offline. So, guys, part of this journey is that there are different paths to success, okay? There are different decisions, there are different risk level appetites, there are different game players, there are different approaches, there are different mindsets. For me, having served the biggest brands in the world and sitting on boards of publicly traded, right, of a publicly traded company, we are not into on like when you are taking risk and you are making levels of investment. Listen, you want to manage your risk. You don't want to be playing with other people's money. And part of this journey is you want to build relationship in the marketplace. You want to invest in at the brand level. You want to understand, because trust is built at that level. You want to make sure you have the right people in the right seats with the right skills doing the right work that will get you the results. You want to continue to make sure that your products and services are consistently delivering value for your clients and customers. So this is the evolution of your product and your services. Okay, this is why I tell people that just because you were winning last year, when you think about the transition post-COVID, right? Many businesses that used to win, they're still attempting to do the same thing, and the market has shifted on them, right? This is why we talk about pivoting on and on and on. Is that consistency, scaling up. I also talk about automation in my book and in my school. Is that as a systems integrator, I actually have a background in systems, is that you're looking for consistency and repeatability, right? Repetition, right? Is that you want to design process that the input can be anticipated and the output can be predetermined based on the functions. And when people are still building random businesses that there's no consistency, you cannot predict, right? When there's no consistency, when you don't have dynamic relationship.
If you have product market fit, right? So
Okay, guys, I'm wrapping up. Teneric, I know people want me to keep going, but I'm wrapping up, okay? Please, if you want to reach out, you can go to my website, toyinumesiri.academy. You can set up some time if you have something you want to personally discuss. But I'm trying to wrap up so I can head out. But I appreciate that you're here. Absolutely. And do go to toyinumesiri.academy. That's where my school is. Tons of resources, over 300 resources when it comes to business development, entrepreneurship mindset, right? The A to Z of building a business structure that is here to last. So anyway, I have to go now. Thank you so much. It's been an hour. I need to wrap this up and move on to the next thing. And thank you, fashion engineer. He said, thank you for meeting with me today. You're such a gem. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've had 2 offline sessions with people that really wanted to just dive in and ask their questions and enroll as well. So that's it. It's a wrap, guys. See you again. Have a nice weekend. Happy Easter to those all over the world that are believers. the season. Don't forget the season for the reason, or the reason for the season. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye for now.